Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of First Time Watch Friday. So I have to preface this by saying I was supposed to start it last Friday, but unfortunately, I reviewed a movie that we're actually going to be doing for the Horror Film Lovers podcast, and I totally forgot we were doing that already. So I don't want my review for that to come out and everything like that. It was just a mess. So this is the actual first episode back. We haven't been doing things. I took a little bit of a break because I was doing like a million things at once, and it was just getting too much to handle. We will be bringing back Wild Card Wednesdays at some point, but right now, I think even up until like maybe July, we're not gonna do that. It's just we're gonna do first time watch Fridays, and we're still doing mainstream Mondays, and been doing that for a while. So let's talk about the movie Freaky, which I hadn't watched. I knew was on HBO Max. I've been wanting to see, but just I don't know, just never got myself to just watch it. And I have this like thing now where I don't really watch many movies unless it's being reviewed, or it's something I could be reviewing or whatever. And now I've got all these different review ones. I got Moody's movie reviews. I've got that I do on Dark Park Films. I've got a ton of other ones that I do, the Mainstream Monday. Then I do a whole lot for Indie Film Cafe. And so I wanted to do one that was like more geared toward stuff that I hadn't seen, but maybe a little bit more mainstream, maybe not. Some might not be mainstream, some might be indie. But this is mainstream, and the movie is freaky. And the movie itself is pretty funny, and it's pretty fun. It reminded me of like a horror version of the hot chick, Vince Vaughn. I mean, I could see how much fun he was having. Chris Landon, the guy who directed this movie, also directed like the Happy Death Days movies for which I love the first one. The second one I thought was fun, but I like this one better than the second one, but I still think Happy Death Day 1 is like my favorite. It's really hard to kind of beat that movie in my opinion. So but I was almost thinking like it'd be funny if they made a sequel out of this movie because they never spoiler alert if you haven't seen Freaky yet. I don't know why you're watching my review then, but if you haven't seen it, close your ears because I'm about to spoil anything. But the at the end of it, they didn't really break. They never broke the knife or anything. So that knife is still out there and can basically cause something else to happen. So I think they always left it open so there could be a sequel if it did well enough. I don't know if it did well enough or not. But this movie's been something I've been kind of wanting to see because I knew it was a body swap movie. It was sort of like, as I said, like the hot chick, Freaky Friday, which obviously freaky comes from, and it's Friday. So I'm surprised they didn't call it Freaky Friday the 13th. By the way, happy Friday the 13th, everybody. But I think maybe there might have been a rights issue with the name, with the title Friday the 13th. So but Freaky Friday, the 13th would have been a funny title. Freaky is still a good title. So Blumhouse produced this. Vince Vaughn and Catherine Newton. Catherine Newton, you'll know pretty soon as being Cassie Lang in the new Ant-Man movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and so I think she's going to be having a 10-year contract with them, doing a tons of stuff. And I remember her from Supernatural, and so I was thinking about the today when I was watching this, going, I know that they were thinking about doing a spin-off of Supernatural called The Wayward Sisters, and they were going to have Catherine Newton in that series, and it didn't happen. And I'm very glad it didn't happen, because if it had happened, I don't know if she would be part of Marvel, because she would have had a contract with the CW and might not have been able to leave that contract to go do the movies. So everything sort of works out the way it's supposed to, I think, and especially in the film business. And I don't remember. I remember they showed that episode, and I don't know what they expect. I don't know if they expect like this big, fandom thing for it, but like they were announcing it was going to be a potential, pilot, thing for the episode of Wayward Sisters. And then it just never happened. I guess CW just wasn't interested or something, or they didn't get enough attention. But didn't happen. Um, but anyway, Catherine Newton is so wonderful in this movie. She does such a great job as both characters, and so does Vince Vaughn. And that's a really big thing when you do a like body swap movie. I was watching Vice Versa the other day, a little while ago. Actually, not the other day, but a few months ago, I was watching Vice Versa because I got a copy of it, and I got bored by it. And I think I got bored by it because I just didn't like I just didn't really like Fred Savage in the role, of playing the adult and everything. And so when I watched this movie, I was a little concerned because Catherine Newton, I had never seen her do anything like this before. And I thought she did such a wonderful job as both, as playing the kid version of herself, which I mean, probably fairly easy since she was young, and playing the adult, like playing a 50-year-old man, Vince Vaughn's character. Some of my favorite scenes are like I really like when she wakes up and the guy asks her about drugs, and then she asks him if he thought she was a girl, and he's just like, "You really are on drugs. You gotta give me some of that because I want to be a girl," you know. And then the guy says this line of like, I'll suck your dick," and then he's like, "All of it." And I was like, "Wait, what?" So that made me laugh. The movie itself was fun. It had some really funny scenes. I honestly didn't like. There was nothing I didn't like about it. I liked the friends. I liked the at first I didn't like Alan Ruck because I thought he, as the teacher, because I thought he kind of came off way too strong as like an aggressive teacher. But that really made the fight scene between them like way more fun. And so I really enjoyed that. Honestly, this is a fun movie. Like if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's definitely something that you know, you could just sit down and watch with your friends on a Friday night or watch by yourself. Like this is a movie I'd probably want to. I think I own it on Blu-ray, but through like Redbox, where they only give you like the DVD, you don't get like the case or anything. So I may want to buy the case and buy it on like 4K or something sometime. It's definitely a movie that I would want to watch like over and over again. So I'm really looking forward to checking it out on a second or third or fourth viewing. So I think it'll be fun. Um, yeah, I don't think there was anything. I'm trying to remember stuff from the movie that you know, um, might have turned me off or anything. Um, the only thing I didn't like, I guess, was like there was an introduction to a character, uh, this older African American gentleman who knew was it Catherine Newton's character, and they talked, and then she shows up again. He shows up again when Vince Vaughn comes to talk to her, but like, there was no real to me. There was no real payoff to that character, and it almost seemed like okay, we just had to introduce this one character as kind of a uh secondary character. It didn't feel like there was any real point to that scene, or anything. Those scenes, and other than maybe a couple jokes. So like literally, like I think if you took that character out of the movie, it wouldn't have hurt it at all. I don't think people would have been like confused or or like, and sometimes that's not good when there's a character in there that like you could literally take out and it wouldn't make any difference to the movie, except for timing maybe or whatever. So that's one of my only other things about it. But really, I mean, that's once again, like it didn't hurt the movie at all, and it made some funny jokes. So all in all, it wasn't a bad thing. But I just honestly, like looking back at it, I was like, that's okay. So, all in all, though, I just really enjoyed the movie. If you get a chance to watch it, please do. Please tell us what you guys think of that movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's really fun. I really enjoyed it. There was probably a lot more things that I could have mentioned, but all in all, I think it's something that you guys would get a kick out of, especially if you're in a horror and comedy sort of stuff together. It's got like big moments, where they're she has to explain to her friends who she is, those two who she is, and so she has to go through a whole kind of ritual to show them like that she's her and everything, and it does like a big moment, and I was like, okay, this is really cool. Like, man, Vince Vaughn being Tom Hanks, that's pretty neat. So that was a pretty cool thing. So all in all, I think you guys should check it out. If you haven't seen it, please do. And let me know what you guys think. So next week you'll have another one. I think I'm gonna try to find one on like Shutter or Hulu or someplace that because this was like on HBO or whatever. I think I saw it on Hulu, but it's on like I think it's generally on HBO Max. So if you get a chance to watch it, let me know. And if you guys have any recommendations for movies I might not have seen, please send them, comment them below, and I'll take a look at them. And maybe there's something I'll do for First Time Watch Friday. All right, guys, have a good one. Happy Friday 13th, everybody. Bye.